When we last saw the Oakland A's of 2014, it was the ultimate in highs and lows that baseball brings. Sonny Gray pitched an absolute gem in Arlington, going the distance in Game 162 as the Green and Gold captured the final wild card spot and clinched their third consecutive postseason appearance. A trip to Kansas City did not end well as a large lead evaporated, and the Royals showed no quit as they continued to come back and eventually took the one-game series in dramatic fashion. It's been 6 months and an extremely busy offseason by the front office as the A's once again with a new look and a positive attitude. Like always, Bob Melvin and the boys will grind out every game, playing like it's their last. Tonight, a familiar face toes the rubber. Sonny Gray will get the ball as opening night at the Coliseum starts right now. Tonight here at the O.co Coliseum, the A's begin the 48th season of baseball in Oakland. They hope when it's all said and done, it's a trip to the postseason on the back end. It's the Rangers and the Athletics opening night from the Coliseum. You'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another season of Oakland A's baseball here on Comcast. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Last year, Sonny Gray took them on opening night. Ray, same thing tonight. Well-deserved. He was no doubt the A's best pitcher last year.
Well, I think it's been a long time since you had back-to-back starters the same going with the Athletics. But Sonny Gray did it last year. He finished the season with a big shutout that we showed. But he has been an outstanding pitcher. And for his age, he's had some big games already. His numbers have proven that. It's amazing that he is able to take them out with that game face that he believes he's going to win every time he goes out. Remember the one time they kept him without a start about 10 days in between? He needs to pitch every fifth day, and when he does, he's one of the best in the game, and he has shown it for the Athletics.
For the Texas Rangers, just a disaster season last year. They lost 95 games, lost a whole bunch of players to injury, and Prince Fielder, one of those guys. He's back, and they hope he's healthy, because if he is, he could make a huge difference for this team.
Well, they need him, Kipe, no doubt, because they need him at first base. They need him swinging the bat the way he did with the Milwaukee Brewers. Not so much with the Tigers when he was traded there. He came over to the Rangers, and unfortunate for him and the Rangers, he had to go to the surgery, as many of the players did last year. Just 42 games played by Prince Fielder, but a power hitter. He plays a very, very good first base, but that's what he does the best right there. He swings the bat. He can hit home runs. The Rangers hope that he stays healthy to be able to do exactly that this season.
All right, so a lot of fun tonight so far. I can tell you the new scoreboards,
they're beautiful.
They look terrific. So that's part of the fun tonight. The fans getting to see the brand new scoreboards here at the Coliseum. So those pregame festivities are over, and we are set to start this 2015 season here at the Coliseum. Opening night, it's the Oakland A's and the Texas Rangers. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back.
you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code Oakland for free entry.
A's and Rangers set to go. Get this 2015 season started here at the Coliseum on what is a chilly night. Not surprising this time of year. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The Boardwalk is open daily for spring break March 28th through April 12th. 59 degrees as we get set for first pitch, and it's a little breezy. They're expecting maybe rain late tonight, but it should not affect the ball game here so far. And let's look at the lineup tonight for the visiting Texas Rangers. Familiar names: Leonis Martin, #2. He's going to lead it off in center field. Elvis Andrus at short. Prince Fielder at first. Beltre at third. Shin-Soo Choo in right. Ryan Rue won the left field job. Mitch Moreland will DH. Robinson, Chirinos, and Roknet Odor. There's your starting lineup for the Rangers.
Sonny Gray, 14-game winner last year for the Athletics. The 14-10, the 2 shutouts. How about those Sox, man? We must have followed Eric Sogard. But Sonny Gray last year, 2 shutouts, both against the Rangers, both in Arlington. Better success pitching in Arlington than here at the Coliseum against the Rangers, but he hopes to change that tonight as he faces the Rangers on opening night.
First pitch of the 2015 season is a fastball in for a strike. So, Ray, are you ready for the journey?
Oh,
and each season is a journey.
Listen, this marathon will be gone in a heartbeat. Marathon is always like a sprint.
And a quick 0-2. Gray to Leonis Martin.
Cap, we saw these great video boards. Of course, they're showing them now. And Bill Miller, the chief umpire of this crew, but you could see the game face on Sonny Gray. He can come out here, but on the day he's pitching, he has one face, and that's usually one that he wants to win.
Sonny Gray, just 25 years old. Coming off a terrific season last year's first full season in the big leagues.
Look at the boards there, man. That's
the new boards.
Man, they're gorgeous.
One in right field, one in left field. Hit in the air, right center, fold, slides, grabs it, and that's the first out of the ball game. So Sam Fold makes a nice play. Like that ball kind of hung up for Sam. Defensively for the A's, Zobrist, Fold, Gentry in the outfield. Lawrie, Semien, Sogard, Davis on the infield with Stephen Vogt doing the catching. One of the new A's, Ben Zobrist, in left field tonight. There's new A's all over the place, and you're getting a good look at them. So one away here in the top of the first, and Elvis Andrus steps in. First pitch in for a strike.
Great curveball from Sonny Gray. That was his four-seam fastball. He has a great changeup, just an assortment of pitches, and he is getting better every time he takes the mound. 33 starts last year, was outstanding for the Athletics, especially game 162.
14 wins last year. He threw 219 innings. That is very impressive.
Sets up almost like he's in a stretch, but in the windup, kind of in this little different positioning, but it's working well for him, so why change?
And he's a fastball curveball guy. He doesn't have to use a whole lot of anything else. Slider change just a little bit, but lots of curveballs, and it's as good of a curveball as there is in baseball.
You see the setup. Look where his left foot is. That's almost in a stretch position, but just a very simplified delivery and setup and motion, and it's all working well for him.
I think pitchers say, you know what, I have to turn anyways.
Right.
So why not be turned a little bit to start with?
And that's why Drew Pomeranz is a game 5 starter for the Athletics. Will pitch exclusively out of the stretch, and you're exactly right. It simplifies things. There's Jared Parker, who's on the disabled list, Tommy John surgery, amongst a few other guys, and one of them, Drew Pomeranz.
There's the curve. Andrus just held up. Sharp breaking curveball.
Andrus, a very good opposite field hitter as the defense is setting him up, and there's a check swing to peel to first base, but Doug Edding said no. Stephen Vogt caught the ball almost as if there was a foul tip, but definitely not that.
Payoff pitch popped up behind first. Sogard's play, and he makes it.
One of the things about this outfield is a lot of speed. You watch the speed in right field, Gentry, and with Vogt in center field. They don't know. Watch as this ball takes off. This is Marte. Look at this ball. Watch Gentry peel off and Vogt kind of going on the slide. There is so much speed. Who's going to take over? Usually the center fielder is the one that takes charge. Vogt is saying, I got it. Gentry gets out of the way. Either one could have caught it. And sure, Sonny Gray's happy. Every pitcher in this ball club hit the ball in the air. It's a pretty good chance it's going to be caught by somebody.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. And here's Prince Fielder. Talked about him in the open of our show. Just 42 games last year for the big slugger.
And I think the A's are figuring he's going to pull the ball straight away slightly in left field. In the outfield, but the infield definitely shading him as a pull hitter with a shift with 3 on the right side.
Big swing, foul left side. So Sonny Gray throwing strikes as it's an 0-2 count to Prince Fielder. Crowd into it, no surprise there. Obviously a sellout on opening night. They've been waiting for this for about 6 months.
Last year, this time, Sonny Gray was on the mound starting against Cleveland, pitched very well, but no score going late. The A's ended up losing that game, and the Indians, I guess, lost to Houston in Houston. So A.J. Hinch, their new manager, it's his first one as a manager of the Astros.
1-2 pitch bounced toward the shift. That's Lawrie, long throw, dug out by Ike Davis. So Brett Lawrie with the shift on, played it like a shortstop. No problem. Sonny Gray 3 up, 3 down, first inning. A's come to bat when we return. Davis, Lawrie, Vogt, Semien, and Sogard. There's your A's starting lineup for opening night.
Giovanni Gallardo, the 29-year-old acquisition by the Rangers in the offseason. This is his 6th opening day start. 5 of those coming with the Milwaukee Brewers. First for the Rangers. It was supposed to be Yu Darvish, but he had Tommy John surgery. The numbers for Gallardo last year, a good hitter, but he's in the American League with the DH now, so that's not going to work well for him, but a very good pitcher with an assortment that he can throw pretty much anytime he wants.
First pitch to Gentry is in for a strike. Gallardo came over to trade, which the Rangers sent 3 prospects to Milwaukee to get a pretty good quality starting pitcher. Giovanni Gallardo. Jumps ahead Gentry 0-2.
And after all the injuries last year, when they acquired this soon-to-be free agent at the end of the season, Gallardo with Yu Darvish, they figured that's pretty good rotation, at least 2, and they have an assortment. Holland coming back, but then Yu Darvish going under the knife with Tommy John surgery. He'll miss all of this season, so Gallardo stepped into the #1 spot.
Big curve. And the count now 1-2. Gallardo was born in Mexico, but at a very young age moved to Texas, and he grew up in Fort Worth, so he's basically back home.
This is Bannister, the first-year manager. Steve Buechele, long-time member of the Rangers.
Yeah, we gotta learn that Rangers coaching staff. Some couple of holdovers, but new guys as well.
Steve Buechele on the top step. Of course, Mike Maddox, longtime pitching coach, to the right of the screen. Mike Maddox, the brother of the Hall of Famer, Greg. He's known, though, as a very good pitching coach. Greg Maddox is.
Fastball and a swing and a miss by Gentry, and that's out #1 here in the bottom of the first. Rangers defensively have Rua in left, Martin in center, Chu in right, Beltre, Andrus, Odor, fielder on the infield, Chirinos catcher.
If you look at the last series in Arlington, Texas, Chirinos caught the first 3 games and just shut down the A's running game.
Yeah.
Did not play the series finale, day game after night game, which I thought was great for the A's because Chirinos did a great job, and of course he's their catcher this year, but does a great job of throwing out base runners. But the A's will test him, I'm sure, as they always do, or will do, to get the speed on the bases.
And there's plenty of speed up top with Gentry and now Vogt. He does not like to be cold. Not that any of us really do.
You're from Wisconsin. This is heat wave here
for a short while. Dark clouds up over top of us that time of year. 2-1 pitch is ripped to right center. That's hit well. Martin on the move, still on the move, near the wall, leaps, and he can't get it. And Sam Fold motors around second. Sam Fold is going to have a stand-up triple with 1 out here in the first.
Sandfall with no stride, slightly, ball a little bit away from him, able to get out in front and pull the ball to right center. And Martina, very, very good center fielder, up against the wall, could not make the play. And then Chu, fortunately backing up, could have been an inside the park home run with Martin falling down, but Chu was there to back up. Meanwhile, Sandford with the speed we talked about, and he stands at third with a stand-up triple. And Ben Zobrist, new to the club, tries to drive him in from third to get the A's on the board in the first inning. The infield playing back gets that old gift run, and Zobrist can just hit the ball on the ground to the right side of the infield.
Zobrist is a switch hitter, playing in left field tonight. Bob Melvin, about halfway through spring training, it seemed like he kind of settled on the middle of the lineup a little bit. Yeah. Zobrist in the 3rd spot, Butler, and then Davis 5th and Lawrie 6th. That one hit to right. Chu's going back, and that baby's gone. And Ben Zobrist says, I like it here in Oakland. 2-0 Athletics.
You cannot hang a breaking ball to Ben Zobrist. He has power, as he just showed. He gets the tunnel. Opening night at the Coliseum, and a big 2-run home run. Samford with a triple, a 2-run home run against Gallardo. And that was a no-doubter with a breaking ball and great at bat by Ben Zobrist. Boy, was that sweet.
So a terrific start for the Athletics. Gray has a 3-up, 3-down inning, and one of the new guys, Zobrist, hits a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. Little strike called to Butler, 1-1.
In fact, as Billy Butler told us in March 8th telecast from the Valley of the Sun, he said, I thought I was going to be hitting between Moss and Donaldson. Here I am hitting between Zobrist and Davis. A little bit different for him, but he likes it so far. Happy to be here. And he's very happy to have a guy who knows how to drive in runs, Billy Butler. And he likes to play first base. He's not strictly a DH.
Curve spins outside, and now it's 3-1 with Ike Davis in the on-deck circle, and I think Billy Butler's going to get a chance to play some first base.
He did during spring training, and Bob Melvin was very impressed with his ability to move around at first base.
So full count to Butler. Last year with the Royals, 9 home runs, 66 RBIs. Hit .271. Right on the outside corner. Pretty good pitch. So Butler called out on strikes.
Watch this nice swing by Ben Zobrist. He is a switch hitter, power from both sides. And there's your little breaking ball, a hanger. He very nicely sets the bat down softly and knows that he's just hit a round tripper on his first at bat as a member of the Athletics when it counts, and that is regular season. Crushed it, trying to get out in front to pull it, just did nothing else to get full in, but what a shot into the crowd in right field, and there is Ben Zobrist going through the tunnel, and he likes it.
So here's Ike Davis.
A lot of years playing with the Tampa Bay Rays. Josh Willingham hit it on opening night. Remember that one in 2011. Zobrist joins that crew, but that was interesting to hear him say he was looking forward to playing outdoors. And of course, at Tampa, at St. Petersburg, 81 home games all under the trop. But playing outdoors, which, you know, the fresh air, green grass, I mean, you just love it. You gotta love it. And especially the crowd here at the Coliseum on opening night.
2-0 pitch right in there, first strike. So 2-1 to Davis.
Surprisingly, now the Rangers go into the shift. Initially at the beginning of the bat, they did not have the shift on. Mike Davis, even during spring training, clubs were employing 3 to the right side, and now they move again with the count even up at 2-2. So it's almost as if the count is in Ike Davis's favor. They put the shift on, thinking he's going to try to pull. Now with it back to 2-2, they put on the traditional defense on the infield.
So 3-2 to Davis. Davis last year between the Mets and the Pirates hit 11 home runs and knocked in 51 runs. Most of his time was with the Pirates. Played in just 12 games with the Mets. Of course, the Mets his original team. 3-2. See what Gallardo throws Ike Davis. Full count here in the first inning. That one hit hard, but right at Beltre. Beltre scoops. Side retired. Ben Zobrist. A's fans love him already. How can you not? A 2-run homer in the first inning, and the A's lead 2-0.
Saturday's host, the Seattle Mariners. 15,000 fans will receive a Sonny Gray Oakland replica jersey. It's courtesy of Cache Creek Casino Resort. Get tickets now at athletics.com/tickets. How about that? Almost looks like Brett Lawrie. Got to work on it.
I think that's a new portrait. I don't remember that.
I don't either. But you know, our Emmy Award winner, Tommy Adams, is going to find it if it's out there. Welcome the crew again, the great crew. With the guys down in the truck. Haven't seen Hoodie. You say he's around, right?
Those guys locked and loaded for the 162 game schedule, as we all are. And once you dive into the season, there's no turning back.
Nope. Don't want to. I mean, that's part of it.
Lawrie has it, throws, dug out by Davis. Nice play on both ends. 1 out.
Well, he did at the end the first inning. Brett Lawrie did, with Prince Fielder getting out of the box quickly. Beltre, though, this one a little bit slower, but the similar type play, charges it as he was not expecting a bunt. No bunt from Beltre. Another pick at first by Ike Davis. So back-to-back outs. Lawrie with a short hop on the other end, and Ike Davis picking it perfectly. And even better, Brett Lawrie doing a good job getting to the ball quickly, and Davis got some pretty good hands. He's shown that.
Why do left-handed first basemen always, they just look better picking balls? And nothing against the guys that have the glove in the other hand, but why? I mean, it's just smooth. It's just they make it look so easy.
Yeah. Well, and ideally you want the left-handed fielding first baseman because he can apply a tag much easier at first, slap it down quickly.
It's like a stylish left-handed pitcher. Most first basemen that are left-handed are a little bit stylish.
That's a good point.
Shin-Soo Choo to right. Like he may have got jammed a little bit. Ball's doing some tricks on Gentry, but he grabs it. So that's out number 2. Hey, if you're looking for Sharks hockey, the Sharks are taking on the Stars right now on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, which can be found on Comcast 104, DirecTV channel 698-1, Dish channel 449, and AT&T channel 768. If you can't find Comcast Sportsnet Plus, log on to csncalifornia.com or call your local cable provider. 2 outs here in the second. Ryan Rua won the left field job in spring training. We saw Rua last year toward the end of the year. Played in 28 games. Showed some talent.
We saw a lot of guys for the Rangers last year with their complete club on the disabled list. So another complete club got a chance to play a lot.
Rua had a good spring, and he's the starting left fielder. The Rangers brought in a couple of veteran outfielders on minor league deals, Ryan Ludwig and Nate Scherholz, and neither of them made the team. And part of that is probably because Rua had a nice spring and they felt like he could handle the everyday job.
So pretty good curveball, swung and missed, and might see another one.
Yeah. And it was a good curveball, but Rua was able to hold up.
Now Stephen Vogt, Josh Fagley, a couple of catchers get their work whenever you see these type of curveballs, and it's important, especially with a couple of strikes. And Stephen Vogt moving to his right, got down and blocked the ball. And that's always the important thing to block, not necessarily try to catch it, which means you're usually going to come up with the catcher's mitt if you're trying to catch it.
Count stays 2-2. Sonny Gray has retired the first 5 hitters tonight. If you're just joining us, Ben Zobrist with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, there's so much information on these boards. You almost
I'm afraid to even look up there because I'm easily confused anyway. There is a good pitch outside corner. Strike 3 called. First strikeout of the night for Sonny Gray. Stephen Vogt's going to hit second. Bottom of the second coming up. Genie, together building a better California. Brett Lawrie to lead it off, bottom of the second inning. A's leading 2-0 on the Zobrist home run in the first. First look at Brett Lawrie. Had good spring.
Well, Cap, we of course got a chance to see Josh Donaldson become a very good third baseman, but Brett Lawrie, a very good defensive third baseman as well. He might not hit as many home runs as Josh Donaldson did, but there is nobody on this club who's going to have more energy displayed when he's on the field. Just that high energy level person, a player, which is very good for a team.
And Brett's the kind of guy, even if he's sitting down, his knee will be bouncing up and down.
Maybe his whole body. I don't think he ever has a bad day. I really don't.
And I think it's fairly simple, Ray. If he is able to just stay healthy and play 100, 140, 150 games, he will produce. He's a very talented young man, still only 25 years old, but last year just 70 games. The year before that 107 games, and he's been banged up.
Now the A's have two on the roster. One is on the disabled list now, and Josh Reddick. He will be coming back soon. And also Brett Lawrie. And they're two similar type of player where they play all out. You cannot say, okay, play the game easier. Don't dive. Don't run into walls or whatever. It's just part of the game. And you can't afford to change them, because you change them, it's going to hurt them. So that's the way they play. And Reddick will be coming back, and we hope Lawrie is in this uniform for a long time.
Just got a piece of that one to keep the count 2-2. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine if you said to Brett, hey, you calm down a little bit? I mean, he would look at you like you were crazy.
Well, he might deck you.
That's true.
We don't want that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that to him.
No, he would never do that, but he just is going to play it his same way. He's going to be able to cover this foul territory very nicely at the Coliseum.
Shoots one down the right field line. It's hit pretty well, but foul.
He's got some serious pop in his bat. He knows, and just right now with a couple of strikes protecting, gets a fastball and almost puts it in the right field seats, but that's simply just not trying to pull an outside pitch, is what Gallardo and Chirinos wants him to do. Instead, opposite field, which could change a lot of things for him.
Swinging a pitch in the dirt to the backstop, and Laurie's going to be aboard, and he'll take it. So right through Chirinos.
Well, he moved inside the pitch in the dirt, but Chirinos, look at the backhand and see how he came up with his catcher's mitt. That is very, very improper. Watch this, right up and the ball right between his legs. He's trying to catch the ball on a short hop instead of going down to his knees and blocking the ball, because with two strikes, he gets by him, and Brett Lawrie able to take first base on a strikeout. But Chirinos does a great job of throwing, but his work in blocking the ball was not exactly what it should have been.
So here's Stephen Vogt.
Unfortunately, we see a lot of catchers with the palm down of the catcher's mitt. That's an improper way to try to block a ball, especially you get a ball that's down low, and he is able to benefit from a ball that got past him. Here's a guy that's happy to be catching again, something he could not do a lot last year with the injury to his right foot, having off-season surgery. Got the protection on the top of his foot. He's also got a steel plate inside that he inserts, so it's very difficult for him to get down in catch position and actually get up on the ball of his foot without, of course, you have a steel plate. It's going to prohibit you from doing a lot of things. In spring training, Stephen had to learn how to throw again as a catcher, because he played in the outfield, he played first base, but catching is different, the release point. And got a chance to play quite a bit, especially towards the end, trying to protect the foot that was surgically repaired, but he's ready to go and very happy to be behind the plate. And that's the proper way to block a ball, just that way. So much different than what he did on the two-strike pitch.
So 3-1 to Vogt.
Watch the glove. Watch the glove. He turns it with palm up. See, like that. That way, you put the glove on the ground with the palm up instead of palm down, and the ball scoots through underneath, especially with a sinker ball pitcher or a pitch down.
Vogt takes right on the outside corner. Good 3-1 pitch by Gallardo. Tough for a hitter to pull the trigger on that.
Well, it's tailing away just enough. Catching the outside corner, and Stephen Vogt, good job of taking what was a pitcher's pitch.
Lawrie with a good lead. See if he goes. He does, and Vogt bounces one. Beltre scoops, fires it across in time, but Lawrie is now in scoring position.
And that's the difference right there, to go to 3-2 count. That Lawrie is able to be put on the move. Bob Melvin confident that Stephen Vogt would put the ball in play. He did on the outside fastball and stay out of a double play.
So here's Marcus Semien. Think he's excited tonight?
And all the people in the stands. I mean, for a new player to the club, he might have gotten as big an ovation as anybody.
Grew up in the Bay Area, went to St. Mary's High School, went to Cal. I think most everybody knows his story now.
Never seen a young man so excited to say that he's playing just one position. And that is a shortstop position that he didn't have a chance to play much in Chicago, the White Sox.
Well, it's interesting, Ray. We saw him last year with the White Sox, and he played third base. He made 31 starts last year. I take that back. 31 starts at third base, 25 at second base, and just 1 at shortstop.
Right.
And shortstop is his favorite position. So he's going to get his chance to lock down the A shortstop job. And he's got to be thrilled about
Oh, absolutely. It started day 1 of spring training, and I thought what Mike Gallego, Mike is, of course, another great ovation for the A's third base coach, but he said, Semien actually said to him, Mike, can we go out and work? He said, he worked me to death. But normally it's the other way around, but Gag said, no, he wanted to get as many reps as he could playing shortstop, and he's got a strong arm, great range, and playing the one position is going to be outstanding.
0-2 pitch. Curve hit hard, but right at Beltre. And that's out number 2. So Beltre's been busy.
Yep. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Beltre's the wrong guy to hit the ball to. I think with his Gold Gloves that he's received and his ability to play an excellent third base.
We've seen it.
Yes,
enough.
too much.
He just never seems to miss the ball. Here's Sogard. Good curve in first strike. Sogard, the 9th place hitter.
So Sonny Gray must have looked at the socks of Eric Sogard and said, you know, Sogi, those look good. I wonder if Steve Lucevich can get me some. And so Sonny Gray tonight wearing the same ones. And if he continues to pitch away what he's right now, he'll wear them every start. So he's been having this look throughout spring training. He had a very good spring, and tonight in the lineup at second base. Defensive always outstanding. Picked up offensively towards the second half last year.
Fastball, locked it away. So 2-1 to Sogard with Lawrie at second. He's looking for a 2-out hit.
It's almost as if they're not giving Sogard anything good to hit. Off speed pitch on the 2-1. See what he does 3-1 with the right-handed Gentry in the on-deck circle. Former Ranger, saying hello to a lot of his former teammates. Years with the Rangers in their organization. He's last year for the first time, first year for Gentry.
Sogard skies one. Jonas Martin drifts into right center field. He's got it to A-Strand Lawrie at second base. We're through 2 on opening night in Oakland. 2-0 A's. Mentioned it, 2 shutouts for Sonny Gray last year against the Texas Rangers. Of course, the one in the final day of the season was the biggest of all. But Ray, he made 6 starts against the Rangers last year. He won 4 of them, and his ERA was 2.06. 6 starts against the same team.
And surprisingly, with all the heat in Texas, maybe being Tennessee, maybe it's hot enough there that he could enjoy the heat of Texas. But normally, when pitchers go there, that's a lot of times they don't sign theirs because the heat
didn't bother him.
No, he loved it, and especially at 162. It was almost as if Tim Hudson said back in the early 2000s, "Give me 1 run, and I'll take the rest of it." And he did it, and so did Sonny.
Moreland hits one deep to left center. Cool night at the Coliseum. It stays in the ballpark, and that's out number 1. So not just the Rangers, but against the West. Sonny Gray against the West was 10-4 with a 2.64 ERA. So it was just a terrific season all around for Sonny Gray. 14-10. His ERA was 3.08. But I keep going back to taking the baseball, man, every time. Remember, the A's pushed him back a start, and we're thinking, hey, you know, we're giving a lot of innings already. We'll give him a little rest, and he did not respond well. He did not like that.
You know, even in spring training, he likes the intensity. And at a time when you're trying to get your arm in shape for the season, it's almost as if he looks at it as a regular season start, and he wants to pitch just like it's regular season. And as a result, Kurt Young, his pitching coach, had to calm him down a little bit, start him a little bit later. He and Scott Kazmir both pitching very well during spring training, and there is the A's longtime pitching coach, and an excellent, one of the best in the game.
The pitch outside corner at the knees to Robinson Chirinos. So 2-1.
Or part of the strike zone with a fastball. Bill Miller likes it, as he has done for Gallardo with low strike call, or the lower part of the strike zone.
Chopped. Davis ranging far to his right. Nice flip. Gray's there, and a good play all around. 2 outs.
Sonny Gray will never disappoint you with his ability to react on pitches or balls in front of him, or in this case, going quickly to first base. Nice flip by Ike Davis. Underhand, a little backhand. That's not an easy play. He made it look easy as the scoops at first base, but Ike Davis flipped to Sonny Gray, getting to the bag, stretching, finding it. 8 consecutive putouts by him, and 3 of those with that guy, new at first base, Ike Davis.
2 outs for the youngster Odor. Injuries last year. Odor got a chance to play and secured the second base job at a very young age. He gets hit by that pitch. And we were impressed with Odor. He's just 21 years old. Hit by a pitch there.
Now batting,
where?
Number 2, Leonis.
It had to have hurt something, Bill Miller, because you look at that replay, it's like it didn't get hit. He turned away, but it must have grazed his uniform. Check it as it blouses out a little bit. I don't know that it hit.
Not a lot.
Bill Miller would know. He heard something and it had to be a uniform. See if we can hear what Bill Miller might have heard.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. The double tick.
That's it. See, catcher said foul ball. Get him to maybe react on it, but Bill Miller's too good for that.
So Odor is the first base runner tonight. Team chops one. Semien has to hustle. He does. Out at second and out of the inning. Bottom of the third coming up. It'll be Gentry, Fold, and Zobrist. A's leading 2-0. Mark Ellis, Eric Chavez throw out the first pitch. Both retired the past year. Eric played for the A's from 1998 to 2000. Mark played for the A's from 2002 to 2011. Two good guys. They did a nice job, and Eric Chavez has joined us in the broadcast booth. Shabby,
hello.
Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How's this retirement going for you?
It's been good.
You all right with it? I know I asked you in spring training. You said, you know what, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't miss it at all. Physically, it was at the end of the line for me.
Well, that happened with your first surgery, didn't it?
Yeah, I held on. I held on for a lot of years. Yeah,
you did.
But I'm glad I did it, though.
How many times did you go into that? Because the initial one I remember was kind of a shock, but after that,
yeah,
it seemed like there were a few more.
Yeah, 5 times.
Yeah.
But when healthy, one of the best, folks. And we had a lot of fun. And we always like to tell the story how when you first came up defensively, you weren't that good, but you got good quickly, and I know Ron Washington had a lot to do with that.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we talked a lot about Ron today. They said all hit, no glove. So
that changed.
That changed. Yeah, I worked really hard and got together with Wash, and we ironed some things out really fast.
How special was it to throw out the ceremony on the first pitch with Mark Ellis, but also your brother catching?
Yeah, it was very great. Yeah, it was the first thing I asked for when they asked me to do it. And it was a little bit more nerve-wracking than I thought it would be. I hadn't thrown a ball since last July.
Hey, believe me.
So, but I watched, though, and we're going to tell Ellie, your pitch was much closer to the strike zone.
Yes, I do have that on him, yes. Yeah. Good time, though. Fans have been great. It's good to come back.
Well, your brother does a great job in the bullpen.
Yes.
He does a tremendous job. And I was actually talking to some of the coaches there and I said, the A's only have 2 catchers. Who's the emergency? Somebody said Casey.
He works so hard. You know, when that first happened, that was a short-term thing. You know, now he's, I think, 8 years somewhere in there.
And he does a great job.
Yeah.
And, you know, what's nice about it, too, and I know he's enjoys being your brother, but also the coaching staff relies on him. How's this guy throwing?
Yes.
Which is great, too.
Yes.
So it's been a great family.
Yeah.
How are the kids?
Kids are awesome. Very awesome. They've really enjoyed today, too.
So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Nice little start for the A's here, huh?
Oh, yeah. Especially Zoe.
Yeah.
17 major league seasons, 13 with the A's, 230 career home runs with the Athletics, and of course, as Ray mentioned, these 6 career Gold Gloves. You played on some great teams here. Unfortunately, you couldn't finish it and get that World Series, but boy,
a lot of missed opportunities.
Fun teams and so talented. You must look back and go, man, that was a good time.
Yeah, I think Billy at one time said, you know, this group of players that's together, you know, be one of the best groups that's ever been together. So, you know, and then obviously you start losing guys to free agency and stuff. But I had a good time, really loved playing the game, and we had fun while we were doing it.
He also said to keep that same club together and break the bank.
Yeah, that's true.
Guys became free agents and went on elsewhere. But no, it was a nice run. It was great to see a great group of guys playing well, as you guys did.
Yes. I think that's why I kind of still want to stay in the game a little bit too. Another opportunity to get to that World Series.
And you know, I think as many players who play the game want to stay in the game should have the opportunities.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you because you have the young family, the young kids.
Zobrist, bullet into the right field corner, and Ben Zobrist is going to have a double. Not a bad start for Zobrist. Homer in the first, double here in the 3rd.
You hit for the cycle, did you?
One time. Yeah,
I was going to say he's halfway home.
That would be something.
Maybe we'll have you up here to hit for the cycle, but another breaking ball. I think he's learned he can hit the curveball because another breaking ball, and Joe Madden called him Zobrilla, because he's like a gorilla, swinging and strong as he is. And of course, Joe Madden always giving the nicknames, but that ball crushed again. Another breaking ball, and he's staying back nicely.
Just a really good sign.
Yeah.
I mean, he could play all over the field.
That's a good sign, too, when your batting average is 1,000.
Yeah.
But this time of the year, those boards should be taken down and shut off because everybody's looking for those zeros, and then you get a hit, and all of a sudden it's 067 or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of information, but sometimes too much for fans. But how about the unveiling of the scoreboard?
Awesome.
Video boards.
It's a really great job.
The fans deserve that.
They do.
Yes, they do.
They do.
0-1 to Billy Butler, who struck out looking in the 1st inning.
So I have to ask you, are you riding horses like your wife?
No. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't get into it. She's so deep into it, though. She really loves doing it. Yeah.
So she took your batting cage and turned it into.
Yeah. When we moved, we basically moved so we can have horses on the property.
Oh, okay.
So that took away everything that I wanted to do.
So that's why
it was at the end of my career. Yeah, it was time.
So she said, "Your career's over, mine begins."
Yes,
now, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She deserves it.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, I was reading about that and. Said Chavez had his batting cage and
it was so nice. Guys would always come over and hit, and work out.
And Butler chased a pitch inside, 2-2 the count.
You know the one thing, and Cap, I think we all agree the 6 Gold Gloves. But when you thought so much of Ron Washington, give him the Gold Glove, and you signed it not without you watch.
Yep.
I know he thought so much of that, but what prompted you to take one of your Gold Gloves and give it to him?
Because it was not without him. You know, I knew I was never going to get there without him. But it had a lot more meaning because I just appreciated the hard work he offered to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just Miguel Tejada, Mark Ellis, myself. It was everybody. Number 79 in camp, you know, so.
Chavez, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of your night, all right?
Okay, guys.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Your arm looks great, man.
Thanks.
Good to see Chavez. Mark Ellis is going to join us in another inning or so. We'll be back. 2-0 A's. From the Coliseum. Just talked to Eric Chavez, one of the gentlemen who threw out the first pitch tonight. Mark Ellis was the other gentleman. And Ellie joins us in the booth. Ellie, good to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
How are you doing with this retirement thing?
I love it. I think I'm having a great time. Yeah, I really am.
Chavez said in leaving, he said, make sure you get on Ellie about his first pitch throw. He said
his was much closer to the strike zone. Actually, I said that, and he was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he did.
But he said that when he left.
Did he tell you he warmed up in center field and I didn't?
That's great. We look great. You know, I mean, just... Well, you got tired of the National League? Is that it? You decided to hang up?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, here it is. And Casey catching Chavez. You got your good buddy Mike Gallego. And
oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, see, with
I didn't bounce it.
No, that's good. That's great. That's great. You guys able to come and be a part of this great opening night, and especially they got to show you on the big video boards. They unveiled them just for you guys.
Those are great. Those are so nice. Yeah, I'm sure they waited until we retired to bring those out. I'm sure. Yeah.
So was it strange not going to spring training this year? I mean, you've been going for who knows how many years, and all of a sudden you're not going.
It wasn't as strange as I thought it would be. There's days, you know, when my kids are yelling at me and telling me what to do, and I felt like going to play baseball. But for the most part, it was awesome. It was really fun to spend time with them, driving them to school every day and picking them up, and you know, being a stay-at-home dad was a lot of fun this spring.
There's the resume for Mark Ellis. 12 years.
Great years. And I think one of the things that a great compliment that your good buddy Ron Washington, of course, Chavez talking about him, but Wash would watch you, and I'll never forget, he said, this kid's played someplace else. Because the way he plays the game, you do things, and we got to marvel at the way you can position yourself. Of course, I know there's a guy named Dick Green, too, that I'm sure you remember. Is it the same town?
Same hometown, Same hometown, and he still lives there. And that was so fun. Early in my career, you guys were all doing your reunions and from your World Series, and to have him out here every summer was a lot of fun. And watching games and just seeing you guys on the field I thought it was really cool and really special to have you guys back, and just to see greatness, you know, was a lot of fun.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When I was fortunate to play with Dick Green at second and then to broadcast with you at second, I said, we're looking at the same guys. I mean, seriously.
That's a huge compliment.
But I mean, seriously, just it makes it so special to. And Greeny did it so well, you did it so well, and that's position yourself based on what the pitcher was going to do, where he was going to throw the ball, and it made a huge difference.
Yeah, we were fortunate. You know, I had such amazing pitching staffs to play behind. You know, and it was so fun to play behind these guys. They worked quick. They got a lot of ground balls. You know, I think of Mark Mulder out there and Tim Hudson and those guys. And you know, you go to Rich Hart and you know all these guys through the years. And we're looking at a guy tonight who kind of fits the mold of those guys.
Yep.
So 2 quick outs here in the 4th inning, and Beltre will hit some of the highlights of our good friend Mark Ellis.
Look at that power, man.
Oh, man.
Bare hand. Anything you couldn't do? I mean, seriously. You know, I know one thing, and I was always upset that whenever they passed out the gold gloves, your name wasn't on one.
Yeah, that's you know, there's a lot of good players playing.
Hey, you were always the best, though. You know, it's one thing to put up the statistics as far as the percentage, but it's also making the plays, and you made them, and that's what was special. So now you were outstanding, and
thank you.
Yeah, it's now, Kite. The one thing General Manager Billy Beane said, whenever Mark Ellis wants to come back in the game in whatever capacity, he's got a home here. I mean, is that something you are thinking about at some point in time?
Yeah, at some point. It's just, you know, I'm just not ready to do it right now.
Yeah.
And I was telling somebody earlier today, I don't want to do something unless I'm 100% into it, you know. So I want to make sure that I'm ready when I do start it, because it's not something I want to start and stop. And, you know, when I do come back, if I come back, you know, I want to be all in. And when that's going to be, you know, I'm not sure, but you know, I love this organization. You know, I love this town. It's a baseball town, and I think it's great.
Sam Fold grabs it. Mark Ellis, always great seeing you, and good luck with whatever you do, but we hope you come back.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
Tell Briggs hello. What a great kid, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Buddy.
All right.
So one of our favorites, two of our favorites, Mark Ellis, Eric Chavez. We appreciate them stopping by. 2-0 A's lead. Davis, Lawrie, and Vogt for the Athletics. Ben Zobrist with a 2-run homer in the first inning. That's the only runs in the game. And as you saw, the Texas Rangers do not have a hit through the first 4 innings. Chilly night at the Coliseum, opening night. The 48th season of A's baseball here in Oakland. Back to 1968.
You know, Cut, I don't think any of these fans here, another sellout crowd, I think they could care less about not winning a game since 04 on opening night, because just the thrill of being here in the park opening night, enjoying everything about it. And, you know, if they win, that's great. If not, there's 161 left, and let's get them from here on out. And I said to Bob Melvin, I said, you haven't won since you've managed, you haven't won on opening night, and he desperately wants to. And I said, but if it means going to postseason as you've done the last 3 years and losing opening night, he said, yeah, I know, but they still want to get off to a start and win it. And maybe tonight will be the night.
And Bob has said often that big crowd, he likes to put on a nice show for the fan. I think he has a lot of respect for the A's fans. He knows how loyal they are. And I think, are the players concerned about that lose intention? No, I agree with you. I think it bugs him.
Oh, it does. It definitely does. And
because he does not like to lose.
And you're right about big crowds. He always says that. These fans come out, we want to give them a good game, because he knows they're coming out to support the A's. And he also knows you have a good game, they're going to come back.
That's right.
And he wants to continue to support, which they get.
So this is the last time that the A's won on opening night. 2004 against the same Texas Rangers. Big hit in that game was
Brett Lawrie.
Eric Burns.
Yeah, Eric Burns.
Durazo.
Yeah. Bobby Crosby.
That was late in the game, and it was won 2004. Felix Hernandez has had a lot to do with the 10-game
half of them
opening night losing streak.
Well, the A's won't get him tonight. He won today against the Angels, gave up a home run to Mike Trout. First inning, went on to win, and he'll be pitching Saturday as the Mariners do come in for the final 3 games of the homestand. But so Eric Burns, Brett Lawrie, kind of the same type of player. Last time the A's won, so Laurie's here now.
I can't imagine a whole lot of series between the Mariners and the A's where he will not pitch.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not saying they're going to slide him around, but it just, those things always seem to come up where the big fella's going to pitch against the A's. Or he goes around 1-2 the count.
Matter of fact, there have been instances in the time that he's been with the Mariners where they've actually held him back to pitch against the A's. Well, maybe it's omen also, Kite, that in 2004, the last time the A's won an opener, our good friend, the late Lon Simmons, who they paid a special tribute tonight with a moment of silence. Lon was inducted to Cooperstown as the Ford Frick recipient, along with Dennis Eckersley and Paul Molitor that year. So we lost a good man in Lon Simmons. What a tremendous person, as we all know.
Yeah, yesterday was not a good day.
No, it sure was. Easter Sunday, but learning the passing of Lon Simmons was part of that. But a great man.
That one drilled toward center. Martin backing over. He's got it, and that's out number 1. But he did make the call. Final out, 1989 World Series. Lon Simmons at the mic.
Now batting the catcher.
Swung on, bounce off McGuire's glove. Phillips has it. Throws to Eckersley in time. Another great play by Tony Phillips. And the A's have won the World Series in a sweep.
Bill King, the late Bill King, had laryngitis and could not broadcast games 3 and 4. And Lon, of course, did it, and it was a thrill.
Well, I know you had the wonderful chance to work with those two guys, and how could you not learn something?
Just sitting between them, I didn't have to say, just listen, osmosis.
1988.
Wow. Who's that guy to the right? That's
It's a good-looking man right there, Ray Fosse.
Yeah, right. Wow. Considerably younger at that time, but still very happy to have been between two of the greatest.
Shot left field, base hit. Ike Davis digging for third. He'll make it there. Vogt trying for second, and he's in there with a double. Stephen Vogt goes the other way. Second and third, 1 out.
Stephen Vogt at his best. He uses the whole field, and I believe in Stephen Vogt. And with this kind of swing, why not? Pitch up a little bit outside and rakes it to left field. And just as he swung, the protection on his right foot fell off, so maybe that's automatic. As soon as he makes contact, it goes. So it's not inhibiting his running, and an opposite field double for the hustling Stephen Vogt. Head first slide all the way, gets the left hand in. A nice first hit of his season. Usually you don't see catchers do the head first slide a lot, but he'll take it.
So 4 hits now for the A's, and here's Semien with a chance to not get a run. Infield in. Bottom of the 4th. .77 pitches for Giovanni Gallardo. Like a little cut fastball, a little slider maybe in for a strike.
Watch the right foot. The protection. There you go. It's like you make contact. I don't want to inhibit you. You're going to be able to run, but that's just to protect in case a ball is hit off the top of his foot. The number of pitches for Gallardo has prompted this move. Jeff Bannister, Mike Maddox. And he's making him work.
2-1 the count. Shallow center. Martin coming in. Martin can't get it. Short hops. And that's going to not get a run as Davis comes in to score. 3-0 the A's lead. Semien with a base hit to knock in a run.
Fortunately, it was not hit very hard with the infield playing in. The little slider and off towards the end of the bat. And Marcus Semien gets his first hit, first run batted in as a member of the Athletics, and that's what you want to see. Second and third, less than 2 outs, and find a way to get the runner in, and Marcus Semien does it with a base hit to center field. Ike Davis making sure it's going to be caught or not. He's able to score, and Yannis Martins is able to get the ball back in. So excellent job of hitting by Marcus Semien. And all these new guys we're learning about, and we can see they can play some baseball.
So a long meeting on the mound comes to an end. And Maddox
Now batting.
heads back to the dugout. You want a Cespedes in the ballpark. So here's Sogard, first and third, still only 1 out. It all started with the good at bat and a walk by Ike Davis. Sogard hit a fly ball to center field to end the second inning. Breaking ball, and it drops low.
The great thing about Gallardo, and the fact that Adam wrote, even spring training had scouting reports on the opposing pitchers, and the way the A's are taking some of these pitches, it's almost as if they had seen Gallardo. Now, the A's beat him in Milwaukee. We went back there a couple of years ago, as he was the losing pitcher, and that one start against the A's in regular season. But A's doing a good job tonight, recognizing the pitches and taking them when they're out of the strike zone.
The A's scored some runs late in that game and beat him at Miller Park.
Our first and only visit to this great state of Wisconsin. How's your team doing in the final game?
Doesn't look good.
Oh, no. They beat the #1 team. Didn't they beat Kentucky?
Yeah.
Was it Wisconsin and who played it?
Duke.
Seems like they always play on the opener for the Athletics. The home opener. Wow, inevitably, they're playing the final game. But a lot of excitement here at the Coliseum. For our viewers watching on Comcast Sportsnet California, the A's ahead of this game.
Sogard flips one to left. Tagging up his Vogt. Rua has it. He gets it in quickly, hits his cutoff man, and Vogt stays at third. So Rua was playing shallow and toward the line. That's right where it was hit, and he hit his cutoff man. So that's the second out. And now it'll be up to Gentry.
Now batting.
Gentry a strikeout and a ground out so far.
Gentry.
Gentry's going to get regular playing time with Coco Crisp out for don't know how long yet, but it's going to be a while.
And we have seen also the speed of Gentry and Fold, and Billy Burns got a tremendous spring, and of course Zobra's able to play right or left, second or short, very versatile. He's also proven he can swing the bat. Tonight he's showing it as a member of the Athletics.
Semien with the RBI single here in the fourth inning to give the A's their third run. Inside corner, strike two call, 90 miles an hour from Gallardo. So Vogt at third, Semien at first. He's got good speed, and he's got a pretty good lead over there. And that one scoots away from Chirinos, and coming in to score is Vogt, and it's 4-0, the A's lead.
When you're at third base, you're anticipating a wild pitch. Stephen Vogt, a catcher, knows what it's like. Chirinos this time properly gets the glove in between the legs, but the ball caroms away. Stephen Vogt with that instinct at third base, breaking immediately. You come down the line, you end on your front foot, watch him go down, and then immediately takes off once he saw the ball get away from Chirinos. You walk down in fair territory or foul territory, you run back to third in fair if you have to, otherwise you break to the plate as you just did.
Curveball, and Gentry swings and misses, side retired, but the A's get a couple runs and they lead 4-0. And as we go to break, we just want to say we're going to miss the great Lon Simmons. Four to nothing. Top of the fifth, and Giovanni Gallardo maybe squaring up against Sonny Gray. I mean, Sonny's feeling pretty good. He has not a lot of hit yet. Yeah, one strikeout. The only base runner was a hit batter. That was Odor in the third inning. 2-0 now to Chu, Rua, and Moreland, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters.
He's thrown about half the number of pitches that Gallardo's thrown, and of course Sonny in his 5th inning. Gallardo might be finished or very close to being finished.
That poured in there for a strike. 2-1 to count.
Exciting by the Rangers last year with Chu, was injured quite a bit. Of course, every Ranger team was injured last year. A big part of this lineup if he can stay healthy.
Well, he got hurt here in a game where it was on the 21st of April, and early in the game he had a home run. And then a little bit later on in the game he was trying to beat out an infield hit, and he just stepped on the bag kind of funky, and he hurt his ankle. And I think that ankle bothered him the whole year.
I think he stayed in the game and eventually went on the DL. But I think you're right. I think it affected him to the point that he just could not do what he wanted. And
he's retired there. Good positioning by the A's as Semien was playing over near second base, one away.
It's actually thought that maybe Chu would start out as a designated hitter for the Rangers if he's not healthy enough to play in the field. So maybe a plus for them is that he can play the field. Moreland, who seems to be Babe Moreland against the A's with everything he does, almost hit one on his first at bat, but he's able to DH with Prince Fielder healthy again and playing first base.
First pitch curveball, Rua fouls it back. Rua struck out looking in the second inning, the only strikeout for Sonny Gray so far. In the air, playable for Fold, who drifts back. Medium deep left center field. He grabs it, and that's the second out. So here's Mitch Moreland, who probably has the best hit ball tonight. Hit a ball to deep of center field that Fold caught. On a warm summer day, it may have left the ballpark, but a night game in April here at the Coliseum, it's probably not going to happen. There's the breeze. First pitch to Moreland in for a strike. Night games tomorrow night and Wednesday night, then a day game on Thursday before the Mariners come in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hoping to avoid some rain tonight and tomorrow. I don't know if we'll avoid it, but maybe it'll be gone by game time. Let's hope so.
And you can't say California doesn't need rain, so that would be hard to say, considering things that have happened in the state over the winter.
Vogt with the block, 2-1 the count. Moreland, another guy who missed a lot of time. He played in just 52 games last year. As Ray said, it seemed like everybody missed time for Texas Rangers. It's amazing. The Rangers set a major league record for players used last year. 64. They used 40 pitchers, and they used 23 rookies.
So you're saying a lot of players got a chance.
There was a lot going on
in the big leagues last year.
Derek Holland leaning forward. He missed a lot of time last year, but he's healthy. He's going to pitch the Rangers home opener on Friday, so the Rangers have to be thrilled to get him back. Quality left-hander. Two pitch, high and foul, just to our left. Like Derek Holland made just 5 starts last year, but there's guys you almost forget about that are still hurt. Martin Perez, very good young left-hander.
That's right.
He's out. Tommy John surgery. He will be back at some point this year.
In fact, he was the one that pitched a shutout here against the Athletics when went back, and again Sonny Gray pitched the shutout against the Rangers in the next time.
More action for the outfielders. This time it's going to be Zobrist, drifts back, and he's got it. So through 5 innings, Rangers still looking for their first hit on Sonny Gray. A's lead 4-0.
new manager, shaking hands with the skipper, and then the introduction of the lineup. Eric Chavez, Mark Ellis went on ceremony at first pitch. Ben Zobrist with a 2-run home run, his first at bat as a member of the Athletics. And of course, Sonny Gray threw 5 innings, except for a hit batter on just a barely hit batter. He's pitched outstanding baseball. I'll tell you that you can find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-AT&T, mobilizing your world. AT&T Reverse Rewind. What a great night so far for the Athletics.
Fold, Zobrist, Butler. One hit hard, past a diving Prince fielder, and Sam Fold has a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 5th.
Super Sam, they call him, and what a night he's having so far with a triple and a single. He was hit in spring training and takes this high fastball, gets on top of it, but he was running to first base, an errant throw, and a possible double play hit him in the left cheek, and pretty serious. Fortunately, everything okay. He has come back tonight on top of a couple of pitches and won a triple and won a single.
So we got a pitching change. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up, your oil change, tune up, and smog experts.
Hey. Never lose that. I think as anybody that's a sportsman, that's a that carries that passion of the game, looks forward to that day. I mean, you get jitters. I mean, there's a holiday. I think they haven't actually made it one, but I think everybody, if it falls on like a weekday, you might as well just take the day off.
I agree 100%, and I don't care what anybody says. It is a holiday.
Absolutely. Whether it's a day game or night game, 28 teams playing today after the Cubs and the Cardinals opened the Major League season last night, with the Cardinals winning behind Wainwright.
Billy Butler will hit next. Zobrist, a homer and a double. And a big hole on the right side. He sees it.
Anthony Bass has a good fastball mid-90s with a slider and change up, a couple of different fastballs as he comes in relief of Giovanni Gallardo. With the Astros last year, he pitched for San Diego, and he is a pretty good fastball pitcher.
Well, it is a reworked bullpen for the Texas Rangers. They got names that, well, quite frankly, we're not sure who the heck they are. Bass, Kella, Klein, Mendez. I mean, these are guys that saw a couple of them last year. Of course, Neftali Feliz is their closer. Tanner Scheppers is on the disabled list, so they'll look forward to getting him back. But some new names in that Rangers bullpen, and young guys, and no left-handers, Ray. How about that? At least not at this time. One and one to Zobrist. Strike on the outside corner.
Darren Bush, the A's new hitting coach. Chili Davis moving on to Boston, but Darren Bush, of course, the scouting reports. There is Darren, who had been in the bullpen for the A's, and great job with the catchers, but has the scouting reports. Talking baseball there with Brett Lawrie. These pitchers come in, especially guys that you mentioned that nobody knows, and you say, what do they throw? Remember, the Rangers and the A's play in the same Arizona for spring training, but Adam Roden with his scouting report passed it on to Darren Bush, going over videos of pitchers and some tendencies.
Zobrist, line drive. Odor has it, fires to first, and they called him safe. Prince Fielder turned around to check in on Doug Eddings.
Well, remember now, and Jeff Bannister looking in the dugout, the manager does not have to go out to challenge a play. And looks like he might be asking about a challenge. Now it goes back to the dugout, but a quick throw to first, and Prince Fielder with Sam Fuld, probably not to the point that it's worth challenging. Sam Fuld, Cardinals sin of going towards the next base on a line drive. Fortunately, able to get back, and there's no challenge.
There's Jeff Bannister, the new manager. Yeah, he just took a step or two out of the dugout, which is really, you don't even have to go out of the dugout. You can just
put up your hand.
No, it saves the walk out to talk to the umpire, and then the walk back in the hole. Nice play by Andrus, throws wide, and Odor kept his foot on the bag somehow. But did he hold on to the ball?
Now Bob Melvin,
I'm not sure he held on to the ball.
Bob Melvin is doing exactly now, and Mac Aldretti. Yeah, they're going to challenge it because Aldretti, with Adam Roden upstairs, immediately called and said do it, because we'll see if he does hang onto the ball.
Jim Wolf is the umpire.
No,
he dropped the ball.
He did drop the ball, and that.
I think Sam Fuld saw the ball laying on the ground as well. He was looking right at it when he slid.
That is a great recovery, but the ball definitely. This is going to be, as quick as you might see, a challenge. But Bob Melvin, as Jeff Bannister had done on the play at first, just stepped out Mike Aldretti on the phone to Adam Roden and immediately said, let's challenge it. And I think this is going to be a quick one. Should be anyway, based on what we saw.
So the reason the change was made, the manager to not have to walk out there, it's just to pick up the pace of the game a little bit.
And, you know, one of the things that they've said, that if the manager just puts up his hand to say I'm going to challenge it, there's still enough time, because you would think that it's going to put a lot more emphasis and quickness with whoever's reviewing it upstairs.
Well, they're showing it on our awesome new scoreboards, and it's about as clear as you're going to get on a giant scoreboard, and the fans are reacting. So, I mean,
but unless New York is watching that, it's not going to help, because we have seen in the past. Yeah.
Not even sure why it's taken this long, to be quite honest.
Exactly. That is the surprising thing.
And there's the reversal. So the challenge by Bob Melvin, and the A's are going to have 2 on and 1 out. It was a nice play by Andrus. He ranged to his right, but his throw was wide.
Well, surprisingly, and people thought maybe it was not appropriate during spring training, but Bob Melvin challenged one on Saturday during the final exhibition game with Billy Burns stealing second. It was called out, but overruled and ruled safe.
So here's Ike Davis. Fielder's choice, E6. So there's the ruling. First error in the ball game. Fastest pitch in the dirt to Davis.
You know, Cap, what that might have been with Elvis Andrus, in a hurry to try to turn 2.
Yeah.
Instead of making sure of 1.
Here's our cold hard facts for tonight, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Most doubles in the major leagues since '09. Billy Butler is third behind two of the best hitters in all of baseball. Doubles machine. 2-0 now.
So far, Bob Melvin has gotten his wish. A very well played game by the Athletics. Great pitching by Sonny Gray. Newcomers getting involved and performing well. Ike Davis, I think your description of a left-hander picking at first base was well deserved, because Ike Davis is maybe kind of set the tone for this game with his picks at first and into the first, start of the second.
So 3-1 now to Davis. He'll be ready to rip. Davis grounded out to end the first inning and then walked and scored in the fourth. He had a leadoff walk, good at bat, and that got the inning going. He scored a couple times. Big bouncer foul right past Ty Waller.
And this is a time when a hitter 3-1, 3-2, especially 3-1, load up a little bit earlier and look for a pitch and let it go. Gallardo out, and Sonny Gray 5 complete. Pitching great, pitch count down low.
And Davis, another good at bat, takes outside his second walk, and the bases are loaded with 1 out for Brett Lawrie.
This Saturday, April 11th, against the Seattle Mariners, 10,000 fans will receive the one-of-a-kind A's Pet Calendar courtesy of Central Garden and Pet. See photos of your favorite A's players having a good time with their four-legged friends. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/tickets.
So the A's are ready with a 4-0 lead, and they get a chance to really bust it open. So Mike Maddox heads back to the dugout. Another meeting. He had to lead the league in meetings last year for pitching coach.
And when you're doing that 81 games in Arlington, Texas, you got a chance to not have to worry about working out. Yeah, you're going to shed some pounds just heading to the mound.
Lawrie reached on a wild pitch after a strikeout and then hit a fly ball to center field. Anthony Bass delivers good curveball for a strike. Bass on for Gallardo, who went 4+ innings in the opener. Popped up on a high fastball. Odor grabs it, big out. And now Vogt will hit.
The first pitch strike, little slider that was just not a very good pitch from Bass, but enough that it was a strike. Kind of set up the kind of a defensive swing by Brett Lawrie with a good fastball from Bass. That mid-90s fastball. And Brett Lawrie is very upset with himself, as hitters are when they have the bases loaded, 1 out.
I just thought, Ray, that a first pitch called strike with a breaking ball is such a great pitch for a pitcher, because it really, like you said, it gets the hitter a little off the rest of the at bat.
Gets him thinking about the breaking ball instead of being aggressive with a fastball. Not that Brett Lawrie wasn't, but not his normal swing, especially on the fastball, but it had to be 0-1.
Vogt takes low. Full at third, plenty of speed there. Remember, Butler at second. Butler does not run very well at all. And Ike Davis at first. Vogt with a ground out, a double, and a run scored, and he takes a fastball on the outside corner from Bass for a strike.
high fastball, but Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, has called the lower part of the strike zone.
Good block there by Chirinos. Did you mark it down?
Got it.
All right. Ray marks it down if catcher makes a block with a runner at third, saving a run.
And this time Chirinos does. He did not with Stephen Vogt at third. Last time Stephen was up, but I'll tell you, Chirinos has gotten enough practice tonight. He might not have to work a lot on blocking the balls because of his work tonight. But when he missed the one on the strike three, he's changed and done it the correct way since then.
Vogt rolls over on that one. 2-2 the count. A's with 2 in the first and 2 in the fourth.
And this is where Stephen Vogt last at bat doubled down the left field line on a pitch running away from him, and he got a little aggressive on the 2-1, pulled it foul, but see if he kind of changes his approach. If he gets another fastball from this hard throw right-hander, maybe protects it a little bit and tries to go to the opposite field. Breaking ball in.
Foul again. And, you know, that breaking ball came way in on Vogt, and he broke his back.
Still think there are times you could look at the outfield or the infield and the outfield and kind of get a pretty good idea how you're going to be pitched. They're shading him to pull, and the breaking ball in. He did get out in front and pull him off the end of the bat. Just enough to get a new one.
Outfield shifted toward left center. Big gap in right center field. So we'll do the 2-2 count again. Lots of base runners for the A's tonight. And he went around. Hard slider down and in, and Bass works his way out of the jam, and the A's do not score. They leave him loaded. On to the sixth. 4-0 Athletics. Brought to you by Pregame. Now your team can collaborate at a whole new level with video walls from Pregame. Learn how at Pregame.com. Beautiful night in the Bay Area. A little chilly. But A's fans, they're just glad to have their Athletics back in town. As the song goes, the boys are back. The Indians are back. Pretty sure they'll play 81 home games this year in the regular season. These first couple of road trips are long ones. First one, which starts next Monday, it'll be Houston, Kansas City, and then the Angels.
But there will not be 5 three-city trips.
No, just a couple.
As last year.
Just a couple. Tough traveling for the Athletics last year, although I don't think too many people are going to feel sorry for us.
Not the way the teams travel. Cannot feel sorry for them.
In the meantime, Sonny Gray has not a lot of hit through 5 innings. 64 pitches, 1 strikeout, 1 base running.
And that's the key. As Scott Kazmir looks on, he'll be in the rotation. He'll be pitching later this week. But you know, you strike out a lot of batters, that means you're going to throw a lot of pitches. So you strike out 1 pitch count. And usually on opening night, your first couple of starts, there is always concern about, well, you can't let him throw too many pitches because he's going to hurt himself. But the best way to go deep in a game, David Price did it today for the Tigers, and that's not throw a lot of pitches.
2-2 to Chirinos. High curve. Chirinos holds up. 3-2 the game.
High breaking ball started, held up, and good take. 4-run lead. You could rear back a challenge and say, try to hit it.
And he did. And it's a strikeout. 92-mile-an-hour heater. So 1 out here in the 6th inning. There's the 6 starts. And tonight,
12,
the 5 1/3 tonight. So the Rangers are tired of seeing Sonny Gray, but they're going to see him for a long time.
You talked about Felix Hernandez pitching against the A's and against the Western Division. When you have the schedule that your teams that you're playing in your own division, you see a lot of them.
Nice play by Marcus Semien.
But Sonny, you start to look, if you have a pitcher, how well does he do in his own division? And Sonny Gray has pitched very well against the Western Division. Excellent range up the middle, and this is Marcus Semien. Strong throw with a fast runner, Odor. But Semien going very well to his left, and once he has the ball, a little quick step and a strong throw, just barely getting Odor. Nice stretch at the other end by Ike Davis again.
Here's Leonis Martin. Fastball, touch inside.
Semien, that Bob Melvin had talked about when he hit him ground balls, he'd challenge him, and it seems like everything he would hit and has hit to Semien during infield practice and during batting practice, he's able to handle it.
Left center, Zobrist, and he dropped it. And Martin's going to hustle for second, and he's going to be in there.
And that's a lights. That had to be the lights.
He was struggling with it some, and then he went for the basket catch. And this is an interesting call right here for an official score.
It's got to be a clean hit for the first one. And this is not clean. Lights got him. See him fighting, and then he found it, but a little bit late.
Now batting, number 1, Elvis.
So it's going to be an error on Zobrist. And I don't think the situation matters. I think that's an error.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, it should have been easily caught. And there are the very strong lights. And Kuiper is going to make the comment, and maybe appropriate time to do it, because for some reason this looks very bright tonight. Maybe the addition of
Could be the new boards, and the ribbon boards around the sides.
The whole place seems so much brighter. And maybe, who knows what Clay Wood or the grounds crew, whatever, with the lights, but it just seems bright. And those lights, you're looking in. Craig Gentry experienced it in San Francisco. He lost one of the lights at a game that we were televising, and you know, he said it's tough because you get in these higher stadiums now after spring training, and all of a sudden you're looking up to those lights, something you don't experience during the Cactus League. Nobody feels worse than Ben Zobrist, but there's not much he could do with the lights.
Good fastball, well placed. 1-2 to Elvis Andrus, who has popped out and grounded out.
Well, he's got a little bit extra in the tank, and he's got a runner in scoring position, and that's exactly what good pitchers do. Save a little bit when they need it, pump it up a little bit extra.
Pop up right side of the diamond. Easy play for Sogard, who grabs it, side retired. Rangers still without a hit through 6 innings. A's leading 4-0. This was pretty cool. Last time we saw the A's during the regular season, it was game 162. Wild card clinch in Arlington. Sonny Gray shuts out the Texas Rangers. Celebration came soon after that. And well, he's had to work for that wild card spot that final weekend in Arlington. They played 4 games. They split them. A's lost the first one on Thursday, won Friday, lost Saturday, won Sunday, and we were all set for celebration a couple nights, and it didn't happen.
Well, we ended up going down to the clubhouse and waiting because the Mariners were playing on the West Coast a couple of hours.
We waited quite a while, a couple nights.
Yeah,
worth the wait.
Eventually, Sonny got it done.
So bottom of the 6th, Semien, Sogard, and Gentry. A's leading 4-0. Full slate of games today. It's fun to watch. A lot going on around Major League Baseball. Mariners beat the Angels 4-1 behind 7 innings from Felix Hernandez. He beat Weaver. Only run he gave up was Mike Trout's home run. And Seth Smith was 3 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. Seth Smith going to get plenty of playing time for the Mariners. So Seattle with high hopes this year. They get a win on opening day at home. 45,909 at Safeco.
Well, the so-called experts have the Mariners and the Nationals playing the World Series.
And a late strike 3 call on a breaking ball from Bass.
No, breaking ball and probably low, but decided to be called out.
Eric Chavez.
It's a pretty good take by Semien, but doesn't help it.
So with 1 out, Sogard will hit. The Astros beat the Indians 2-0 in Houston. Keiko over Kluber. Pretty good pitching matchup there. So the Astros should be significantly improved this year. Got some veteran hitters now. We'll see them next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Houston. So they'll beat the Indians.
And their new closer, Luke Gregerson. That's a save tonight. They revamped their bullpen. Gregerson is the closer. Pat Neshek, former Athletic as well. And well for the Cardinals, now part of the bullpen.
Slapped into left field for a hit. So Sogard gets the 7th hit for the A's. Well, looking for the best coverage of the Oakland Athletics? Log on to csncalifornia.com and check out that guy, A's insider Joe Stiglitz. He provides wire-to-wire reporting of the A's in this 2015 season, and everybody's telling Joe he's on TV right now. And Joe, we call him Joe Cool. He's got breaking news, video, special features, and more only on csncalifornia.com. And there he is, Joe Cool Stiglitz.
And that was the Bips are behind him telling, hey, Joe, you're on TV, man. So am I.
A lot of cool up there. So Joe does a great job working hard. Speaking of cool, is that Eric Burns? That looked like Eric Burns.
It did. Let's go back to that guy. Somebody called him and he went back up the stairs.
Lots of green and gold in the stands.
Yeah, they might be cool in the press box, but they're warm out on the field and in the stands enjoying the start of this game.
Gentry's 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts and a ground out of that leadoff spot. Nice, 0-2. Royals beat the White Sox 10-1 in Kansas City. Samardzija got knocked around, gave up 5 earned runs in 6 innings. Johnny Ventura got the win. Alex Rios with a home run for the Royals. Remember, Rios signed a free agent contract with the Royals in the offseason. 40,085 in Kansas City, so they had a party today. American League champions.
Yeah, A's Billy Butler will be going back on that next road trip that you mentioned, Houston, then Kansas City. So Billy will get his American League championship ring, and sure, a very emotional weekend for him.
Quick throw. Tigers beat the Twins 4-0. David Price 8 2/3 innings of shutout baseball. Joe Nathan came in, got the final out. Curveball, strike 3 called, and that was the exact same pitch that Semien got called out on. So whether we think it's a strike, I don't know, but Bill Miller consistent on it.
Sunday, April the 12th, when the A's take on the Seattle Mariners. 15,000 fans will receive a pair of my partner's favorite A's branded Argyle socks driven by Chevrolet.
I'll be wearing them the next day.
I know you will. Get your tickets now by calling 877-493-BALL or visiting athletics.com/tickets. I'm going to go to the Men's Warehouse and get you some. They got some beautiful ones there. So
I'm going to go to the Men's Warehouse and get you some.
No, I'd rather get you some.
Come on, Ray. We're a team up here.
I know. But
I know you draw the line, and quite frankly, I don't blame you.
Well, I saw some of those and said, man, my partner loves some of those. Yeah. People were buying them at the Men's Warehouse. They said, wow, I love those. They look good. They look good on you because you wear them every day. Different ones, and those are the kind of socks you have to. You can't wear the same ones because they recognize.
No, you can't. You got to keep changing it up. That's right. Eric Sogard's beating everybody with the socks look tonight.
Yeah.
He and Sonny Gray.
Yeah, a new trend. That would be a great trend. Ajay Davis wearing the stirrup socks, actually a little bit of horseshoe in the back on the bottom.
1-1 to Sam Fodu, who has got a triple and a single. So good night for Sam, playing in center field.
So see, between Fold and Zobrist, they've hit for the cycle. Would you like to get some numbers on the board in your opener? Get your hits. High pitch, a little bit outside of Sam Fold for his triple in the first inning, and raked it to right center. Almost a great play by Jonas Martin. He could not come up with it. Backing up was true to hold Fold to a stand-up triple, and then of course Ben Zobrist brought him in and himself in.
Fastball up, 2-2 the count. Prince Fielder grabs it. He's going to win that battle with Sam Fuld. He's going to win most battles if there's a confrontation on a base pass. Get out of the way, Sam. 4-0 A's through 6.
Of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
4-0 the A's lead, top of the 7th inning. Rangers do not have a hit through 6 innings. Fielder, Beltre, and Chu. So a challenge inning for Sonny Gray. Pitch count at 74. Right-hander kicks, and the first pitch fouled straight back.
Prince has been a little bit behind the fastball from Sonny Gray. The one he hit back in the first inning, a great play by Brett Lawrie, the only one on the left side as he is right now.
And there's a shot right field. Gentry's right there. 1 out. Got to have one of those. Little Adam ball. Hey, tomorrow's pitching probables are brought to you by Chevron. Care for your car. Game 2 of the season. Colby Lewis. We know all about Colby Lewis and Jesse Hahn. And so A's fans are going to learn about Jesse Hahn. He's got real good stuff.
Well, it's a great interview. We know that.
Yes,
nice in San Francisco.
His numbers last year with the San Diego Padres came over for Derek Norris. And he's got a bright future.
Yes, he does.
Jesse Hahn. See, I'm excited to see Jesse Hahn pitch. I mean, I see him a little bit in spring training, but not a lot.
He's got that 6'5" frame and right over the top with a great 12-6 curveball.
Strike at the knees. There's Jesse Hahn.
Graveman to his left. He'll be starting also, I think, Thursday with Pomerantz on Friday. He's got Kazmir has the Wednesday game. It's a pretty good rotation for the Athletics and an excellent bullpen as well. One that we've yet to see get up and throw in the left field area. It's a dangerous hitter. He can do so many things. Adrian Beltre around so long.
Hits it hard. Sogard, nice play. Gets up, throws, 2 outs. As I said, right? You got to have a few of those.
Absolutely. Well, these pitchers know their defense is outstanding. Infield, we've seen it. Outfield has the speed. And the only blemish is a ball that got caught in the lights, and that was almost a great play by Zobrist, but a great sliding catch up, spin, and throwing out Beltre, who, again, a smart hitter trying to take the fastball to the opposite field, but Sogard said nope.
So a couple of hard hit balls this inning, but 2 outs, and here's Chu. Swings and misses at a first pitch curveball. .81 pitches for Sonny Gray. Inside corner, strike 2 call. Klein loosening up in the Rangers bullpen.
93-mile-an-hour fastball. Inside corner. Chu back. Pitch on the corner.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out with high heat. Sonny Gray has kept the Rangers hitless through 7 innings on opening night in Oakland. 4-0 A's. We'll be back. Perfect night so far. Sellout crowd. Great pregame festivities as always on opening night. And now got a little side story brewing here, Mr. Fossey.
That's
it's
right.
4-0. A's leading. Sonny Gray, 7 innings so far. No hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and sitting at 83 pitches.
That's the key. 83 pitches, because it's always concerning to a manager and pitching coach on opening night when you're always scheduled for 90 to 100 and what are we going to do. So Kurt Young with the clicker, all you have to do is look at the scoreboard, these brand new video boards, and you can see exactly what's going on, as we do with this Phil Klein.
Hey, time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Phil Klein, another young right-hander, comes in.
Texas, number 35, Phil Klein.
There's the new board.
Yeah.
The one up left field. One up in right field as well. And the boards are in the exact same spot as the old ones.
They just gutted them and did all the brand new things. Look at that. There's a conversation. And see Sonny Gray talking to the skipper, and it probably was about what we just discussed, the old pitch count.
Well, as fun as it is for us to sit up here and talk about it, we know what's going on, but it is nerve-wracking for a manager. So Phil Klein, number 35, he is a big fella. 6'7", 260 pounds. Got in 17 games last year for the Rangers. 25 years old. Phil Klein.
most guys out of a bullpen these days. They throw hard. Mid-90s with the fastball a couple of different times, but he's got an assortment of pitches like a starter, all four. Fast curve, slider, changeup.
3-1 to Zobrist, homer, double, and a line out. And a soft line drive to the second baseman. That was in the 5th inning. Good night for Ben Zobrist. It's this one high in the air play. Rua and left. He grabs it, 1 out. Blue Jays beat the Yankees today 6-1. Hutchison over Tanaka. That game was at Yankee Stadium.
Billy Butler.
Alex Rodriguez, the designated hitter today, was 1 for 2 with a walk. Josh Donaldson went 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. So Blue Jays, very good lineup. They get off to a good start. So did the Red Sox. Red Sox in an interleague game beat the Phillies in Philadelphia 8-0, and Boston hit 5 home runs. Pedroia 2, Hanley Ramirez 2, and Mookie Betts 1. Ramirez hit a grand slam. That's a good lineup as well, the Red Sox.
Their concern is the pitching. The big Poppy play, that's the key. No DH used in Philadelphia, in America or National League.
BI's going to check.
BI's the best. Brilliant intelligence. That's what BI stands for.
That's right. We used to think it was bogus information, but brilliant intelligence, I think, is what. See, the Red Sox, I don't know if you saw it today, they signed Rick Porcello to an extension. Rick Porcello.
How much?
You wait till I tell you.
I
came over from the Tigers. He's a good pitcher. He was going to be a free agent after this year.
4-year deal, right?
4 years, $82 million. Over $20 million a year. Wow. Rick Porcello, youngster, he's a good pitcher. I wouldn't say he's an ace.
Does that tell you how bad pitching is in Boston, the starters? But good for him is right.
So Rick Porcello's going to stay in Boston for a while. Red Sox get their season started. So Butler with a 1-out walk.
And that brilliant information, BI told us that Big Poppy did play today and played first base.
Don't mess with BI. Hey, CSN's Authentic Fan Fridays are coming up at the Coliseum this Friday versus the Mariners. Get a ticket and a value deck behind home plate, an Authentic Fan long sleeve t-shirt, a cheer card, $6 food and drink voucher. It's all for one great price. You know the deal. You've been to Authentic Fan Fridays before. Best deal in Bay Area baseball is Comcast Sportsnet's Authentic Fan Friday. There's the t-shirt, long sleeve, which is nice.
Yeah.
If you were a fan, you would have that on tonight because it's chilly. First pitch from Klein, a strike to Ike Davis. Davis has walked a couple times tonight. Orioles beat the Rays 6-2 down in St. Petersburg. Tillman over Archer. 31,042 at Tropicana Field. So that's the scoreboard. Just in the American League. So a busy day around the big leagues.
Well, it's nice that on Monday, the traditional Oakland, of course, the first game last night, but to see all 28 other teams play today. Started early afternoon on the east and spread all the way around the country today in baseball.
Martin grabs it for the second out. Oh, yeah. 10 a.m.
Right.
There was a ball game on today.
Right. Well, we know one thing for sure, Cap. There's 36,067 here. It's always nice to hear Mike Selleck mention that number, and he doesn't have to say it. It is a standing room only sellout tonight, and I don't think there are many people who have left just because of what is transpiring here. The A's looking for their first opening night win, or opening day win since 2004 at home, and they also are witnessing something special, at least through the first 7 innings. And that special is that nobody in the A's bullpen has moved.
No.
They are sitting and have been sitting, and it's a good bullpen.
And they're fans right now.
Yes, they are. And cheering loudly for their teammate right there, Sonny Gray.
Check swing, lined into the seats, heads up down there, just past the Rangers dugout. See, today there was a little rain delay in Miami at the game. In Miami.
What?
I knew you'd like that.
Oh yeah, please explain.
Yeah, they said the storm snuck up on them and they could not get the roof closed, so there was a little rain delay. Yeah,
is that right?
I saw highlights from it.
How could a storm sneak up on anybody?
Snuck up on the folks in Miami and rain delay.
They couldn't throw the switch quickly enough to close it. Huh? Wow.
Takes a little time. One-two is drilled to center. Martine's not going to get it. Billy Butler's going to roll up at second base, and he's going to get back. He had visions of going first to third and then decided, I'm not going to do that.
No, he said there are 2 outs. I don't want to try it. And I'll get thrown out for the 3rd out. Red Lawrie, though, happy. After last inning, popping up with the bases loaded, takes a high fastball from Klein and right center field. That's a great approach. And Martine has a very strong arm anyway. You don't want to test his arm. Billy Butler, country breakfast as they call it. Hold up. He was just deking him. That's all. He wasn't going anywhere.
So I think if country breakfast is your nickname, first to third's probably not your thing.
That's right.
Knocking in runs.
That's right. Yeah.
Here's Vogt. Swing. Gonna miss out in front. He's now with 8 hits. Stranded 7 runners through the first 6 innings. Swing and a miss again, off speed pitch. So Vogt swung right out of his foot guard. Good look at the guard on his right foot.
Whatever it takes for him, he's just happy to be able to play and be able to catch. Stephen Vogt, who came out of nowhere a couple of years ago and did a great job for the Athletics. Showed his versatility, playing different positions, but he is back where he wants to be, and that's behind plate, the home plate, and catching his staff, coming through with hits when he can.
He was pretty good in the outfield, though.
Yes, he was.
And at first base.
Yeah. Did a great job in Yankee Stadium playing right field because of the played short enough that he robbed a couple of guys of well, hits, but not scoring a run. Played first base, just unfortunately he could not catch, but still was able to play other positions and swing back.
Outside, and I would imagine if your thing is you're a catcher and then you don't catch for really a whole year, that's got to be tough.
Yeah. Trying to learn all over
miss
again.
it too.
Yeah.
Your runners, Butler at second, Lawrie at first. Close pitch. Foot guard popped off Vogt again, and Phil Miller will help him out.
Maybe they take this Velcro that's up in our booth here that keeps sticking to our pants and put it on Stephen Vogt's foot. What is that stuff?
That's the divider line between where you go. See if you cannot come over this line here.
I think he just got rid of it.
Runners go high and deep down the right field line, and that baby's gone. That's a 3-run shot for Stephen Vogt. 7-0, the A's lead.
They wondered where the power is going to come from. Zobrist a 2-run shot, and Stephen Vogt on the 3-2. Buggy wet, man. He turned on it. High drive to right field. It had the distance, kicked the foot guard out of the way, and let's get running with a 3-run home run. Wow. Started the at-bat 0-2, went to 3-2, and watch this swing. Pulled the hands in and down the line, head down all the way, watching, and even more watching it stay fair.
So here's Semien. So 7-0 A's lead.
That's a great swing. Opposite field, don't want a fastball away, and trying to go down in the end. And Stephen Vogt crushed it.
Now 1-2 to Semien. So Zobrist a home run in the first, Vogt a home run here in the 7th. Right on the outside corner, strike 3 called. A's do damage thanks to that man, Stephen Vogt. A 3-run homer for Vogt, and the A's lead 7-0. Top of the 8th inning, and the Rangers do not have a hit. And Sonny Gray back to work. 9 ground ball outs, 9 fly ball outs, just 3 strikeouts, and 84 pitches for Sonny Gray. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, and it's 0-2 to Ryan Rua.
You know what this is called this time of a game? It's called adrenaline. And really, you can almost throw away the pitch count, the clicker that counts the pitches and all that, and just watch a pitcher. Pitcher always tells you how he's feeling. And Sonny Gray right now has got a little bit out of it.
So on an 0-2 pitch, a fastball kind of up and away, and Rua lines it into right field, and the no-hitter is gone.
Well, you can see the aggressiveness as the fans appreciate what Sonny Gray did for 7 innings. They were well aware. We didn't have to say anything. They could see it. And nice ribbon boards here. There's Josh Reddick on the disabled list. And the chance of Sonny. But I think is the aggressiveness from Rod that you could see that you make a bad pitch. He found the opposite field hole.
So here's Mitch Moreland. It's the 3rd base runner for Odor was hit by a pitch in the third. Martin reached on an error in the sixth. Pitch was actually a pretty good pitch to hit where he hit it.
Well, it was up a little bit, and with the opening on the right side, they expected him to pull, but that was a pretty good job of hitting. They wanted it. Those are all pitchers standing down at the end, so you know that they were pulling for their teammate and their starting pitcher mate.
Strike on the outside corner. Gray off-speed pitch.
Breaking ball, not the real sharp curveball that we've seen, but just enough that caught the strike zone.
Hit hard, just foul. The only guy to throw a no-hitter on opening day was Bob Feller. 1940.
Rapid Roberts.
Indians beat the White Sox 1-0. No pitch counts.
Thank you.
He walked 5, struck out 8, and he was probably between 150 and 200.
It didn't matter. They didn't count them. And
Davis grabs it, steps on the bag, double play.
And there's absolutely nothing Rob could do as that ball takes his normal lead, and Ike Davis has shown tonight that he can play some first base. That's a hard hit ball, a little backhand, and realize, step on the bag, and that's perfect. And even with the 7-0 lead, holding the runner and just there perfectly positioned to be able to turn the double play.
So 2 outs for Chirinos. So Bob Feller, the late great Bob Feller, will continue to sit along.
Absolutely.
Opening day no hit.
And you know, in Chicago it wasn't very warm on April the 16th of 1940. But kind of, that tells you right there, opening day, April 16th. Last year started March 31st. This year it's April 6th. But that was April 16th.
Bob Feller.
Yep. Welcome to the Wigwam.
Welcome to the Wigwam. That's the way Bob Feller greeted you when you walked into Progressive Field in Cleveland. He was at most of the games.
Absolutely.
Eric Flaherty. Hey Bob, how you doing? Welcome to the Wigwam.
All right, come in, sit down, grab some food, sit down, let's talk some ball.
Fastball high, 3-1.
Along with Ron Santo, both Hall of Famers, passed away the same offseason, 2010.
Dropped in there with a little movement. So full count to Chirinos.
Well, the base hit and the 7-0 lead. We thank the prop, the skipper Bob Melvin, he's approaching 100 and takes a little pressure off the skipper.
Just a bit high. Chirinos checks his swing.
Wow. Tell you what, Mr. Eddings, you can still call it a strike even though Chirinos headed to first base.
Hey, we get in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan know-it-all with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30 on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Kelly Johnson with A's post-game sound, analysis from Bibb and Shooting, and Joe Stiglish with the post-game notes. That group has it covered big time. Ahmed Fareed, Dave Feldman will host. Look forward to that. Odor thought he had a base hit. Ike Davis says, I don't think so. And another great play by Ike Davis. So great pitching. Seen some pretty good defense from the A's tonight. And all in all, Sonny Gray and the A's have this one well in hand. 7-0 as Sonny's going to get a big ovation as he heads to the dugout. We'll be back. pregame summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 0-1-1 for the Rangers, 7-9-0 for the A's. Couple of home runs for the Athletics. Zobrist and Vogt, the Sonny Gray the story. 8 innings of shutout baseball, gives up just 1 hit. Looks like Sonny's night is over. And what a performance on opening night from the sellout crowd. Much has gone wrong for the Athletics tonight. New pitcher for the Texas Rangers. It's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Roman Mendez, who pitched in 30 games last year for the Rangers. 24-year-old from the Dominican Republic. And Sogard rips one right back up the middle, and he's 2 for 4. 10th hit for the Athletics.
Well, Eric Sogard opposite field on a 2-strike and back up the middle with this solid base hit. And his great hitting all night by the Athletics has been tremendous. Using the whole field, taking advantage of counts, and it's nice to see different guys get the hits and now get Greg Gentry in the hit column. That would be special.
Gentry 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Nobody else for the A's has been on base at least one time. Scribner now up. O'Flaherty sits down. Gentry skies one. Shallow center. Martin went back. Now he's got to hustle in, but it's going to be Rua who drifts over towards center field.
2015 pro-rated A's ticket plans are available right now. The A's offer a variety of ticket plans to fit your schedule, as well as one of the most flexible ticket exchange policies in all of baseball. The A's ticket plans provide significant savings off dynamically priced individual game tickets. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/ticket plans. And Finelli told us after a telecast over in San Francisco on the Thursday that they had the operators standing and sitting by, and things went well. Still opportunities to get your season tickets. Always talking pitching.
Two 2-0 to Sam Fold, who's 2 for 4. Triple and a single and a run scored, hitting out of the 2 spot tonight. Missed again, 3-0. And Mendez. He's a big guy, 6'3", 235 pounds. 7.5 years in the minor leagues before finally getting to the big leagues last year.
Make them tear the uniform off. It's the old saying, so might as well.
Was traded from the Red Sox to the Rangers back in 2010. Instead, outside, and Fold is on base for the 3rd time. So another rally for the Athletics.
Now batting left fielder for 18, Van Zobrist.
16 base runners for the A's tonight. So Zobrist has a chance to pick up an RBI. He's 2 for 4. 2-run homer in the 1st. This is what it looked like.
Well, what a great feeling for a player. Acquired, did a hanging breaking ball, and your first at bat in your new uniform. A 2-run home run to get your team on the board in the 1st inning. And that's a great way to start. Great welcome for not only Ben Zobrist, but Ike Davis picking him all night. Sonny Gray, of course, doing his job. But see some of these new players performing the way they have. It's been great. And it's just game 1 of a long season. Couple catchers. Josh Phegley, new to the club. Stephen Vogt, lefty-righty combination.
Shallow right. Chu has it, and that's the second out. So Zobrist now 2 for 5, and Billy Butler will hit.
Cap, you know, several of the players and wives had babies during the offseason, some in spring training, but one that got a special offer, Cliffy Clavin.
Yep.
Wife Marissa, Logan Charles Clavin, born during spring training, late March 24th. So congratulations to Marissa and Cliffy. Birth of their son, 8-pound boy. So Cliffy's got some work to do.
It wasn't that long ago. Cliffy was just a
bad boy.
Young lad as a bad boy hustling around, and now he's a dad.
That's great.
Want to know to Butler.
You know, those two, Matt Weiss and Cliff Clavin, yeah, were bat boys down there, and they taught these kids a lot. So now they're still working the A's organization and fathers. So that's great for both of them.
Ball is in for a strike from Mendez.
Josh Phegley left spring training. First baby born this spring. So Stephen Vogt during the offseason.
Butler lines one left field. Rua on the move, not going to get it. One hops the wall. Sogard's going to score. Foles going to stop at third, and Billy Butler has an RBI double. That's his first hit as an Athletic, and it's now 8-0.
And appropriately, as you said, the doubles machine, it comes through with a double down the left field line. And Billy Butler just turning on a fastball, and that is his swing. He's going to hit some home runs, but when you're a line drive hitter, you're going to get more doubles. And some of those line drives will end up out of the park for home runs, but this one hooking away from Rua, and Billy Butler, his first run batted in, a walk he scored, and now an RBI double.
So here's Davis. Butler last year had 32 doubles. He's had as many as 51 doubles in a year.
He's a strong man. Country breakfast. That's good. Now you'd like this guy. Billy Butler was talking about. He's kind of checking out the clubhouse. You know, been in Kansas City, but checking out Steve Buscemich's clubhouse. And he said, you know, I'm an attacking guy. I like to stick around, talk a little baseball after game's over instead of hurrying up and getting out. And in today's world, sometimes that's rare. Guys come in early and leave, but he said, I just want to talk a little ball. We can learn a lot talking some baseball, so maybe he'll start a new trend in his clubhouse.
I think it used to happen more, did it not?
All the time. Actually, there was more talking after the game than any time before, because it gave you a chance to sit around and talk about a game, and this is a good one to talk about with all the positive things that have happened. Something you can learn. Guys pick up some things other guys are doing. Some of the best coaches and your teammates.
But then again, guys get to the ballpark a little earlier now than they used to.
Yeah, and they have better meals when they come out here.
3-1 to Ike Davis. Nice hop for Odor. Side retired, but another run for the A's. Billy Butler with an RBI double. So ninth inning coming up. A's trying to wrap this one up. They lead 8-0.
let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
All A's tonight on opening night here at the Coliseum. 8-0. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Evan Scribner comes in, 29-year-old right-hander. Pitched in 13 games last year and made the team out of spring training this year. He was out of options, so if he pitched well, he had a pretty good chance of making the team. Of course, with Doolittle on the disabled list and Ryan Cook in the minor leagues, that helped his chances. And he's got that pitch right there, the big overhand curve.
It's called Uncle Charlie, and Uncle Charlie's one of the best in the games. He added a great cut fastball that, man, these relievers have been throwing some cutters that have been outstanding. Evan Scribner had been a fastball curveball change, and then all of a sudden it adds a cutter to that already great curveball. That's a specialty pitch that's very hard to hit.
2-2 now to Leonis Martin, who is 0 for 3. He did reach in the 6th on a ball that Zobrist he lost in the lights and was not able to catch it. It went off his glove. Andrus to follow, and then Prince Fielder here in the top of the 9th inning. A's trying to win on opening night for the first time since 2004. Hit high in the air, fairly deep right center, but Fold is under it. 1 away.
Here's tonight's Honda player of the game. Sonny Gray through 7 innings, did not give up a hit. Sonny Gray ended up going 8 innings, 98 pitches, and what a tremendous performance by the A's starting pitcher. So you look back to game 162 last year, he shut out the Rangers. Tonight he shut them out for 8 innings. Got him in the postseason playing game tonight, trying to get him an opening night victory, and he has done his job. 8 great innings, our Honda player of the game.
0-1 to Elvis Andrus, who's 0 for 3. The only hit in the game is Rua's Rua's leadoff single in the 8th inning. It was a clean single to right field, a hard hit ball.
The last pitch, a good cut fastball from Evan Scribner we talked about, and a very good one.
Remember tomorrow night, 7:05 first pitch for game 2 of the series. And Andrus waves at a pitch, and he strikes out, and that's out number 2.
Uncle Charlie, good curveball in the dirt. Nice block, Stephen Vogt. Keep it close to him and make the tag himself as Andrus swinging and missing.
So 2 outs for Prince Fielder. Couple of ground outs and a line out for Fielder. He fouls it straight back. So A's pregame live tomorrow night at 6:30, and then the ball game at 7. Jesse Hahn will pitch for the Athletics against Colby Lewis for the Rangers. Good pitch right at the knees, and it's 0-2. Only shutout on opening day in Oakland A's history, 2003. He's trying to make it shutout number 2. Stephen Vogt back and out of play, first row.
Nice to see the smiles and all the newcomers and just in general on this team, on the bench, then the field. And there's a bunch of them. And they have performed great tonight.
That big curveball, and Prince Fielder checks his swing. Post-game live coming up right after the ball game. Strike 3 called right on the outside corner. And that's the ball game. So opening night goes to the Athletics as they win it in convincing fashion. 8-0 is your final. Ben Zobrist got things started early with a 2-run homer. Sonny Gray, 8 shutout innings, gives up just 1 hit. So the new look Oakland A's get this 2015 season started on a winning note. They win on opening night. Final score, the Athletics 8, the Rangers nothing. You've been watching A's baseball on Comcast Sports in California. Don't go away. A's postgame live coming up.